Okay, so it's definitely been a while since I recorded a video, and I have a whole new setup now because when Eric came, he brought my mother's teeny tiny laptop back for me to use. It's a Dell Mini, and it has a webcam built in. So I gave my old webcam, well, not old, my other webcam, to Eric to also take back home since he was kind of like my little delivery boy. Um, but I'm semi regretting it because this is definitely not as good quality, and it has a real issue with light. Where, yeah, basically, if I don't have my overhead light on in my room, then I really can't record a video because it can't see me. So right now I'm actually out in the living room, which I haven't been before, I don't think, because it has much better light, like natural light. Um, but I still look like really sickly, so whatever. There's not much you can do about that. Um, but anyway, yeah, it's been a while. That's because Eric was here for over a week, even though he wasn't supposed to be. I've told the story like a bajillion times, but he missed the flight on Sunday for a number of reasons, but the main reason was that there was daylight savings time here in Spain, and I didn't know, and he didn't know, and my phone, which we were using for an alarm, didn't change automatically. So, yeah, basically, we didn't know until we got to the train station that morning, and we were like, oh, why is everything an hour later? And then it occurred to me that it might have been a time change. But we figured we were still okay because, one, we were already halfway there and there wasn't much else you could do except for get a taxi. But we thought we'd be fine because we were going to get there a little with about an hour left. But we did not know that Delta closes their gates an hour ahead of time, like before the flight takes off. So we get there at like 9:05, 9:10, and the gate was closed, and they refused to let him on the plane, even though it didn't leave until 10 o'clock. So, huge fiasco, of course, and we ended up spending like the next 2 hours in the airport trying to figure out what he can do, and he had to buy like another plane ticket for $500 for the next day. So, yeah, expensive mistake, definitely. But I mean, I got to have another day with him. And because of that, he actually spent the night in my homestay, and he ended up leaving me notes to find in my bedroom, which I still have not found them all, um, which is probably one of the most adorable things I've heard of in a long time. So I found seven now. I think out of it's either out of 8 or 9. Eric thinks there's 9, but I had found one that said 8 of 8. So unless he added one, but I have no idea what the other two are. So we'll see. Yeah. So things are definitely going by quickly. My classes are ending. My last Spanish class is on Friday, and on Friday is also when spring break starts, and that's when I'm flying out to meet with Jolene in Venice. And yeah, that's also another like flight fiasco because for some reason I read on my calendar that Spanish classes end on Friday. So I was like, sweet, no Spanish class. And so I booked my flight for 10 a.m. Well, right. That means that that is the last Spanish class. So I do have class. And because it's the last class, that's when our final is. So I had to switch that flight. And it cost about another 90 euros on an otherwise only 80 euro flight. So I paid a crap load, which is just annoying. Um, Though I still have that 1 cent flight back, so I guess that's, whatever. Okay. And yeah, but I'm really excited to go because I talked with Jolene last night and we're taking a ferry over to Slovenia and there's all these caves that we can go in. And the capital's supposed to be really cool and there's this great, like really cool lake that's only an hour away from the capital, which is Ljubljana, by the way. That's how it's pronounced. And then we'll be able to train down to Croatia, and we can actually take the ferry back from Croatia at the end of the week to Venice again, and that Venice is where we're flying out of. So, um, yeah, it's going to work out really well, I think. I hope. I think it's going to be good. So I'm excited about that. And I've been changing around my plans for the end of the excursion a little bit too because I decided that 3 weeks afterwards was just way too much. I couldn't handle it. And I was considering coming back like immediately, like the 24th, but Alicia pretty quickly convinced me to do otherwise because she had this idea of going through Prague and Budapest and Vienna for about a week. And basically, the word Budapest like changed my mind because I had kind of fallen in love with it just from reading about it in the Let's Go book. So nothing's solidified yet because I need to get some flight details about changing my flight back home, but it sounds like we're going to do Prague for a couple of days, and then we'll do an overnight train to Budapest, and do that for a couple of days, and then end in Vienna, and then fly back out. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that, especially Budapest. It just sounds phenomenal. So, yeah, I didn't really think I was going to do the whole Eastern Europe thing, but apparently it's really the only thing I'm going to do. So, but I guess it makes sense because I've already done France, like Paris and London, and obviously I'm in Spain. So, besides Germany and Portugal and the rest of the UK, I guess, um, I've actually done quite a bit in Europe otherwise. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much what's going on. Um, I need to do some homework, so I should probably go do that. Um, but I'll update again, and I might even update like on spring break because that's why I have this little computer, so I can take it with me. So I will have it with me, and yeah, good stuff.